the simplest answer would be.
Sorry, we have a special mic.
So rude. So rude.
Is that the karaoke mic?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Uh,
Karaoke starts really early today.
I know, right? I think the simplest answer would be just time. You know, with a film, it could be. I've shot movies that were 19 days. There was movies that were, you know, a month, a couple months. Obviously, with television, especially with Lone Star, it varies from 8 months to 9 months of work. So it's completely different. Also, with television, you have a full sort of arc of a character. You have whether it's 10, 14, or 18 episodes to develop a character. And in a movie, you have, you know, an hour and a half or 2 hours to create a character. And luckily with Lone Star, we've now had 3 seasons. So 42 episodes to create a character. So it's a huge difference. And I couldn't tell you which one I like more, to be honest, because they're both sort of special in their own way. So, yeah.
Allora, praticamente la differenza tra una serie TV e un film è più che altro il tempo, quindi quanto tempo ci vuole per sviluppare un personaggio. Quando si tratta di serie TV, l'arco di tempo per svilupparlo è più lungo, perché comunque ci sono tanti episodi, ad esempio in 911 Star sono 42 episodi, quindi pensiamo tutto questo arco di tempo, mentre un film si svolge nell'arco di 2-3 ore, quindi vedi tutta la storia di un personaggio concentrata in quelle 2-3 ore. Per fare un film poi ci vogliono, non so, da 19 giorni oppure anche 2-3 mesi, mentre la serie TV la giri in 8-9 mesi. Non sa scegliere in realtà quale preferisce tra TV o cinema.
Are we going with Trent Reyes or Reyes Trent?
Good one.
TK Reyes Strand. We're going with the Strand. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. We'll see. Or I actually have no idea how it works. So. That's not for me to decide. Yeah.
Non lo decide lui, comunque non avevo sentito bene la domanda, ma direbbe TK Reyes.
Wasn't it weird? In the first 4 episodes, you shoot in the snow and in the cold. Wasn't it weird to go outside in very hot weather?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was also during a time in Los Angeles when it was a heat wave. So it was like 100, 102. I don't know what that is in Celsius.
Like 40 something.
Yeah, in the 40s. And we had to pretend to be freezing cold, and the fake snow is this horrible like foam, and it would get in your eyes and it would get in your mouth, and we would have to use huge wind fans to make it look like a storm, and it's just every couple hours we would have to wash our eyes out, and it was really hot, and luckily when I fell in the water, it was like a small pool. And that was actually really refreshing. I asked them to make sure the water wasn't too warm, and I would just stay in there because it was really nice. And then the actual underwater stuff was a life-size pool, and we shot in there for like half a day. And you would never know that we shot in somebody's backyard, pretty much.
Okay.
So yeah,
Movie magic.
Movie magic is real. Yeah.
È stato strano girare gli episodi con la neve e poi magari uscire fuori dove faceva un caldo atroce. Sì, è stato abbastanza strano, c'erano 40 gradi fuori a Los Angeles, quindi far finta di stare morendo di freddo con 40 gradi fuori, diciamo che era nell'acqua, in realtà era una piccola piscinetta, quindi era anche abbastanza rinfrescante come cosa, e anche la scena sott'acqua, era una piscina grande, non avreste mai detto che stavamo girando nel giardino di qualcuno, quindi è la magia del cinema.
Doesn't it sound so beautiful in Italian?
So much better. How do you say movie magic in Italian?
Magia del cinema.
Magia del cinema? Magia del cinema. Hashtag magia del cinema.
Ok, ci sono anche delle domande dall'online.
Okay, so we have some questions by people online.
Okay.
Ok, una domanda molto mainstream, ma sempre sul pezzo. Se potessi decidere domani mattina di reincarnarti nel corpo di un animale, che vorresti essere?
Okay. If tomorrow morning you could decide to wake up in an animal's body, what would it be?
A pit bull. My dog. It's the same breed as my dog. They're the most loving, most beautiful dogs, and I'm very biased towards pit bulls, so I'd have to say pit bull. Yeah.
Ah, quindi nella razza del suo cane, però è di parte, quindi però sì, si reincarnerebbe nella razza del suo cane.
Un'altra domanda che chiedono è legata alla celebrità. Che impatto ha avuto il diventare una persona famosa, no? E nella tua vita di tutti i giorni? Cioè, come è cambiata la tua vita e come ti senti cambiato rispetto a questo nuovo upgrade della tua vita, insomma?
So after being famous, how did your life change, and what was the impact of becoming famous? What was the impact on your real life?
Ooh, that's a loaded question.
I don't know. I think the word fame is a little bizarre to me. I think it's very much up to the person how they want to treat it. I think with many people, it could go to their heads, and it could change a person very much, and we've seen that happen many times. For me, to be completely honest, I sort of took advantage of the perks that it came with, you know, a larger platform, more opportunities, whether it's work or activism, or I think social media is one of the biggest ones that I am very proud of. You know, being able to talk about what I truly believe in and what I think is important, and actually having people listen for the first time. Because when when you have a small following, or when you're not technically famous, nobody really is listening. And you know, it's unfortunate because the things that I've been speaking about for almost 6 years now are really crucial and really urgent. And I'm just very grateful that now I can have the ability to speak up about that stuff, and people are actually listening, and people are willing to work with me now. And a lot of, you know, big companies are opening their doors to me. So I think that's sort of the thing that I've changed the most since being famous. But I think me, Ronen, it's sort of been the same. It's nice to have a job. It's nice to be able to work on something that you actually believe in, something that you love. And you know, the fact that we have season after season after season. I've never been on a show for more than one season before 911 Lone Star. So I think in that sense, that's really awesome, and it's a beautiful sort of privilege to have. But other than that, I'm just sort of, you know, same person, different environment, I guess.
Okay, quindi
Very long answer.
dipende un po' dalla persona in realtà. Ci sono alcune persone a cui dà alla testa la celebrità, l'essere famosi. Per lui, cioè lui è rimasto, diciamo, lo stesso, ha preso i vantaggi che questa sua popolarità gli hanno dato, quindi magari più lavoro, più possibilità di fare attivismo. sui social media soprattutto, adesso la gente lo ascolta, quindi è in grado di dare la sua opinione, di parlare di quello di cui ha parlato per 6 anni, ma che magari prima non veniva ascoltato, ora che è famoso, tra virgolette, come dice lui, adesso la gente lo ascolta di più e quindi è grato per questa cosa. Però per quanto riguarda la sua persona, cioè lui è rimasto sempre lo stesso, è comunque un bellissimo privilegio, però sì, non gli ha dato alla testa come magari ad altre persone. Okay, before we go on with the questions, we want to say that the meet and greet is about to start now with Adelaide and Rachel. So if any one of you has the meet and greet, should go downstairs. Il meet and greet con Adelaide e Rachel sta iniziando ora, quindi se qualcuno di voi dovesse avercelo è giù. Noi ora continuiamo con la panel.
Scusate.
Sì.
Did you have fun on set with other stars?
Yeah, I think there was a sort of an unspoken, what would you even call it? I don't want to say competition, but I think me and him sort of sized each other up and were like, I've heard about you. I think we have very similar sort of similar auras on set. You know, he gets thrown into a lot of heroic stuff, he gets hurt, he gets really a beautiful emotional storyline. So I think Buck and TK have a lot of similarities. I think they gave us that storyline together on purpose. It was very nice. It was very nice. He's such a sweet dude, super professional. That's sort of all I ask for. If you're professional and you want to do a good job and you care about your work, that's sort of all I need to sort of see in a person. But yeah, it was really nice, and obviously they're the veterans. They welcomed us with open arms, all of them. But Oliver especially, and we've had some fun. We've done some funny Instagram lives, and it was a very pleasant experience with him. Yeah.
Sì, si divertono molto sul set, fanno anche delle live su Instagram, hanno delle storyline molto simili. Comunque lui è una persona super professionale e quindi è l'unica cosa che conta alla fine, però si divertono molto.
What do you think about the fact that people treat you and Rafa? Like, do you think it's disrespectful or maybe funny?
Here's what I'm gonna say. There's a lot of stuff that gets thrown out and gets spoken about outside of work, and it's my job to not pay attention to it and not engage. If that pisses some people off, or they feel, I guess, ignored, then so be it. It sort of comes with the territory. There's a lot of negative stuff that gets thrown around. There's a lot of stuff that gets thrown around that some people probably think I don't see, but I do. I sort of focus on the positive and focus on work, focus on, making people feel good about the show, and all the other stuff. It's not, it's not really, that's not my priority. Let's say that was a very political answer. Running for mayor in 2024.
No, allora, per quanto riguarda le varie ship, lui non deve prestare attenzione a queste cose, perché quando fai un ruolo, alla fine sì, Vedi tutto, però ti devi focalizzare sulle cose positive. E se a qualcuno sta bene, se non sta bene, ciccia. Cioè, ognuno scippa cosa vuole, però non è compito suo, insomma, engage con queste persone, cioè parlare di queste cose. Lui deve essere super partes.
Posso intervenire io con una domanda online? Allora, qualcuno ci domanda dall'internet, perché lui a quanto pare fa parte di una band, e qualcuno ci chiede in che parte del mondo potesse decidere lui un tour, dove vi piacerebbe andare insieme a suonare per, insomma, per portare in giro quello che fa.
So, we know you're part of a band.
Yeah.
So, where in the world would you like to go on tour?
Where?
Well, I think Europe would probably be our first stop. Obviously Europe's huge, but probably Italy or France. Probably be one of our first stops. But I think just sort of, if I could have any place in the world, it would probably be Brazil. Brazil sort of has the most epic concerts ever. Some of my favorite videos to watch are bands playing in Brazil. Like there's a Radiohead concert. I'm actually wearing a Radiohead shirt. There's a Radiohead concert in Brazil, and it's like 100,000 people losing their minds, like completely involved in the music. Like every single person in the crowd, and it's just, I think that connection to the music is rare right now, especially in America. I think everybody's going there to record it on their phones, and I think European crowds and Latin American crowds. I don't want to generalize it, but I think they're a bit more involved with the music and are there for the musical experience. So probably there. I mean, I wouldn't mind playing in Los Angeles and New York, but I think Europe and Brazil are at the top end.
Quindi diciamo che in cima alla sua lista ci sono sicuramente Europa e Brasile, sicuramente Italia, Francia, però Brasile è proprio una delle tappe del cuore, perché comunque ci sono dei concerti epici lì. C'è un concerto dei Radiohead che praticamente con 130.000 persone che sono concentrate solo sulla musica, non a fare video con i telefonini, cioè è tutta un'atmosfera diversa rispetto magari ad altri posti. Per questo mi piacerebbe fare lì. La connessione che la gente ha con la musica lì è proprio diversa, quindi direbbe Europa, Brasile.
E abbiamo una domanda online. Chiedevano se veramente è appassionato di film e qual è il personaggio in cui potenzialmente si vede di più e perché?
So, do you like Disney movies? Which character do you see yourself in? I mean, which character is more close to you, according to you?
In like an animated movie or
Yeah,
all?
on the Disneyverse.
Well, Marvel is in there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if you want, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Lone Star's in it, so.
Probably Captain America. I don't know.
Just putting it out there.
Yeah, just Captain America. No, I don't know. Maybe Captain Planet one day if they make it.
Yeah.
Disney wants to make it.
Yeah.
Putting it out there. Yeah.
Vabbè, Captain America, ma se la Disney vuole farlo anche Captain Planet.
Yeah. One
Sto
day.
proponendo, magari un giorno. Lo spero.
I don't know if I can phrase the question. You are always very stylish, and I love the things you wear. I mean, this rock star, have to say it. Personally, I love the color pink. So everything you wear that is pink, I absolutely love. I love the ones the thing that was yellow on top and then went down and it was pink. Absolutely
Yeah.
love it. I don't know, which one was yours? Your favorite look, maybe?
I really was really proud of the Glad Awards with the pink bow.
Yeah.
And the Paul Smith suit.
Yeah.
That was really beautiful. Chase was,
Oh my god.
he crushed it on that one. Chase is gonna be in Paris, by the way.
Yay.
Just saying. But yeah, I think that one was very high up on our list. But we've done so many at this point. It's I don't even remember.
Me neither.
But that one that you're referencing with the yellow sweater and the pink pants, I just approved images, and that shoot is going to be really, it's definitely something different. Very happy, poppy colors, flowers, really feel good for the summer. So I think you'll be happy. Yeah. Glad Awards.
Allora la domanda era, dato che sei così stiloso, qual è il tuo look preferito? Stylish. Crede quello dei Glad Awards, quindi con il farfallino, si chiama, rosa, ma anche quello che citavi prima, la felpa gialla e i pantaloni rosa, molto carino, molto estivo.
Do you miss to play as a firefighter on the show 911? Do you miss something?
You know, for the finale, as a joke, I put on the helmet again, and I wore it for like 10 minutes, and I was like, I do not miss this. No, I think the character as a firefighter was really cool, and a lot of the stuff that we get to do as firefighters is really badass. But I think wearing that uniform with the helmet for 13 hours a day, being crammed in that fire truck, I love my cast, but I don't love them that much. It's a ghost.
That's your cast.
The ghost didn't like that answer.
Nope.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable, especially in the summertime. I feel so bad that they have to do that. I like being a paramedic. Simple uniform. I get to drive the ambulance, which is really cool. You know, I think with the whole TNT thing with Tommy and Brianna, I think we get really interesting sort of laser focused storylines because there's only 3 of us instead of 6 or 7. So there's definitely a lot of benefits to playing the paramedic TK, physically and storyline. Yeah.
Allora, la domanda era se gli manca fare il pompiere. No, non gli manca, perché sì, come per scherzo si era messo l'elmetto l'ultimo giorno, però pensare di tenere l'uniforme per 13 ore al giorno, sì, ama il cast, ama tutti quanti, però non così tanto da sudare dentro l'uniforme. Quella dell'uniforme del paramedico è molto più semplice, poi guida l'ambulanza e niente, con Tommy e Brianna, essendo loro 3 hanno una storyline più concentrata, quindi ci sono anche dei benefici da questa cosa.
That's the word I should use. Concentrated. I'm gonna learn Italian by then.
You'll be fluent in about a day.
Stiloso.
Sì, vai.
Who was the experience of film with Keegan Allen and Colin Roden with the movie
Man.
Follow Me?
I love those guys. Keegan is, I don't know if any of you guys have met him. probably at some convention. He always does them. He is literally the guy that you meet. He's so cool, and he's been doing this for such a long time, and you know, he has stayed super grounded and really, really friendly and lovely, and obviously professional, but I think he's just very welcoming, and he was very much a leader on that movie. And Holland is like one of the sweetest, smartest people I've ever met. I got to spend a lot of time with her on the movie, and we talked a lot during that film, and her and Keegan were probably the people I got closest with from that film. Yeah, that was a really good experience actually. Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Si è divertito molto nel film che ha girato con Keegan e Holland. E Keegan è una persona amichevole, è cool, diciamo, è figo, però ti fa sentire bene, ti fa sentire a casa, poi è professionale, ha avuto una bella esperienza con loro due.
How did you prepare yourself to interpret TK after his mom passed away?
Man, that was tough, man. It's such a blur. That was not a fun time shooting all that stuff, you know. Obviously, you know, it's not real life, but you know, you gotta go somewhere to make it believable, so. Yeah, I think just certain mannerisms, you know, I think physically I didn't really, as TK, I didn't really let anything get me too excited or happy. Just little details like that. I definitely tried to make I definitely wanted to show a shift, you know, that something truly awful just happened, and I'm so happy that we got to revisit that storyline with the AA sponsor, and we didn't just sort of blow past it, you know, because I don't think that would have been fair. So yeah, it was. I owe a lot to the writing because they helped, you know, and yeah, that was a hard time. And Lisa is so wonderful, you know, so losing her it sucked also, because she was an incredible part of the show. Also a leader and a veteran, and got to learn a lot from her, so yeah.
Come ti sei preparato per interpretare il ruolo di TK dopo la morte della madre? Non è sicuramente stato divertente, anche perché come attore devi pensare, cioè devi prendere delle determinate esperienze magari della tua vita e devi pensare a qualcosa per renderlo credibile, quindi assolutamente non divertente. Poi lui voleva proprio mostrare questo cambiamento in TK, quindi si è concentrato per quello. Ovviamente perdere Lisa, che è meravigliosa, è stato un brutto colpo per lo show. Si lavora molto bene con lei.
I wanted to know if you learn anything about medicine to become paramedic.
I always joke that if I was on a plane and someone was having an issue and they were like, is there a doctor on the plane? Yes. I would probably raise my hand. Like, all seriousness, you know, I know how to do CPR, I know how to do an IV. All that stuff is on a plane, you know, with a first aid kit. Obviously I'm not gonna do surgery, but I think I can keep someone alive until the real paramedics come. And I'm very grateful to have that skill, because hopefully I never have to use it, ever, God forbid. But I think if the time ever came, I feel comfortable with doing it, because we do it so much on set. And obviously we're not, you know, injecting real needles, but the placement and all the details are there. And then CPR, you know, all that stuff. So Hopefully I never have to test it though. I'm not biting my tongue on that.
Se qualcuno si sentisse male su un aereo e chiedessero se c'è un medico, lui magari alzerebbe anche la mano, perché con tutti i corsi di rianimazione, di primo soccorso che fanno poi sul set, tutti i dettagli sono lì, quindi in testa ce li ha. Potrebbe anche tenere in vita una persona per un po' di tempo prima che arrivino veramente i soccorsi reali. Però spera di non trovarsi mai in una situazione del genere.
We know that TK got hurt a lot through the seasons, and people now on social media are saying now it's actually Carlos's turn to get hurt, so that TK can take care of him. Would that be maybe, I don't know, a storyline that you would like to see as well?
Yeah, I'd like to not get hurt.
Yeah.
For a change. However, the getting hurt is always very much with a reason. Obviously, you know, it's not just for fun, and it always leads to a really epic storyline, and it always connects with a certain character. You know, it's always very specific. So I don't quite mind actually getting hurt. It's a bit obnoxious when it's like 6 times, but yeah, you know, I think Carlos being a police officer, I think there's always room there. You know, their jobs are super dangerous, yeah, I mean, we saw Judd get hurt, we saw Paul get hurt. You know, obviously Owen got hurt in the finale. So yeah, I think. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but it'd be nice to take care of Carlos instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
I could bring him soup, rub his head.
Oh, that was so cute, by the way. The scene, you know, the engagement scene where you're.
That's what I was trying to say earlier. You know, that stuff's not scripted. It's just we're just in the zone.
My heart, Jesus.
Siccome TK è stato ferito, è stato male molte volte durante lo show, adesso magari sarebbe il turno di Carlos di farsi male, così TK può prendersi cura di lui. Sì, sarebbe anche ora, però vabbè, diciamo che c'è una ragione per tutte le scene in cui qualcuno magari si fa male, c'è sempre una storyline dietro. Non gli dispiacerebbe, cioè non gli dispiace in realtà farsi male, ferirsi, perché c'è sempre una ragione, però anche Carlos effettivamente potrebbe andare incontro a qualche non so, qualche accidente, diciamo. Il ruolo che fa è assolutamente, cioè facendo il poliziotto comunque si possono avere degli incidenti, è pericoloso, quindi potrebbe anche essere.
What's the thing that you share the most with PK?
It's sort of, my answer has always been the same. I think TK genuinely wants to help people, and that's sort of something that I've very much made a mission of mine. You know, especially like I spoke about earlier. You know, gaining a platform, gaining, you know, recognition for, you know, stuff that I think is important and I'd like to share with people. And that's it. You know, I think for me it's sort of like we're all human beings. That's all we have. We all live on one gigantic home. So why not help each other and try to, you know, I guess make each other better, you know? And TK, not that grand of a scheme, but he literally risks his own life in order to save other people. And we've seen it multiple times, and it has literally almost cost his life multiple times. So I'm very proud to say that is probably the thing that connects us the most.
Cosa hai in comune con il personaggio di TK? Diciamo che sono simili perché anche lui, come TK, vuole aiutare le persone, quindi questa non solo è la missione di TK, ma anche la sua missione nel suo piccolo, anche attraverso le piattaforme, attraverso i social, vuole condividere la sua opinione per aiutare gli altri. Poi comunque TK rischia la vita ogni giorno per salvare le altre persone, quindi crede che questo sia quello che un po' li accomuna, il voler aiutare gli altri.
I was wondering, is there ever a scene in 911 Lone Star someone else has done, you think, damn it, that's, I would love to do that.
There's like silly stuff, like I'd love to ride a horse on screen. Like it's so epic, you know, it's like a classic cowboy.
Yeehaw.
Like when, I believe it's season 1 when Judd and Owen have that amazing conversation on the horses, and it's like sunset, and it's gorgeous, and they're wearing cowboy hats. I'd love to do that. I love riding horses, so maybe that's why. But I always say Grace has such incredible storylines and such difficult, emotional, layered scenes. I love her character. It's probably my favorite character, to be completely honest. Yeah, her stuff is so beautiful, and she crushes it every time. It's like fascinating to watch. I wish I had more scenes with her so I could see her work. But yeah.
Quindi c'è una scena che hai visto fare agli altri che hai detto cavolo avrei voluto farla io. Sì, in realtà scene del tipo andare a cavallo al tramonto, ma anche Grace che ha una storyline incredibile, fa delle cose meravigliose, forse il suo personaggio preferito, quello di Grace, e vorrebbe lavorarci anche più a contatto.
Who was the crossover episode with Oliver Stark and Ryan Guzman, the 911?
Sorry, what was the question?
Would you like the more crossover with the 911, Lone Star and 911?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. I always have said that I want to share the screen with Angela Bassett, you know, Queen of Wakanda. I mean, it's so badass. But yeah, that's just for selfish reasons, you know. It would be the greatest honor to be, even if I didn't have a line, even if I was in the background, you know, I'd probably get it printed and frame it. And be like, I was on screen with Angela. But yeah, I mentioned earlier, COVID really crushed our budget, so that's why we haven't been able to do such a massive crossover again. So hopefully if everything goes smoothly in season 4, I can't imagine them not doing another big one. You know, it was one of our biggest, if not biggest episodes ever, so I know they'd love to. It's just, it was so difficult shooting during COVID. Yeah, I'd love to, for sure.
Quindi ti piacerebbe fare un altro crossover tra 911 e 911 Star? Assolutamente, gli piacerebbe avere delle scene con Angela Bassett, perché anche solo stare alla fine, cioè dietro con lei, così gli basterebbe. Però col Covid purtroppo il budget insomma non era quello che era, quindi si sono dovuti limitare. Magari in futuro, chissà, si potrebbe anche pensare di fare un altro crossover.
Have any of the storylines ever grossed you out when you've read them or been filming them? Like paramedic storylines?
Have they what?
Ever grossed you out, like maybe?
It grossed me out. I think the worms were pretty, they were pretty gnarly. And and like we had them. They weren't real, but on set we had like the special effects guy moving them, and that poor girl, she had to have them coming out her nose and her mouth. And that was so gross. And I'm not usually squeamish about stuff, but that was gnarly. Do you guys have a word like that, gnarly, in Italian? No? Like really gross?
Schizzinoso. No,
Because it could be really good or it could be really bad. Like gnarly could be both.
Oh, no, okay,
You know?
gnarly is another thing. I don't know how to exact word in Italian.
We'll get it later. Google Translate.
GM.
Se abbiamo una traduzione in italiano. Comunque la domanda era
It's not that important. It's a very California word. Sorry.
La domanda era se ci sono, se sono state delle scene che gli hanno fatto abbastanza schifo. Ha citato quella dei vermi.
For translation.
Sì, there is not really an Italian word for what you mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we have many different words, but it's a different meaning.
Okay.
Un'altra domanda, no? Ok, quando mi capita di avere giornate molto lunghe lavorativamente parlando, di giornate dove giri per tanto tempo, come fai a gestire lo stress e se c'è magari qualcosa che fai per aiutarti a stare più chill, insomma.
Okay, so when you have long hours of work, how do you handle, how do you manage stress? How do you contain it, and if you do something to keep it down?
How is that?
I think I've become a very Zen person, you know. I think during COVID was I think a lot of us had, for the first time ever maybe, time to really focus on ourselves and to, maybe work on things that we want to, and because we finally had the time. So, I've sort of learned to not give too much energy to stuff that I can't control. And that happens a lot on set. Like, if we're running behind, or if the camera's not working, or, if someone's late, or whatever the reason is, like, I can't do anything about that, so why waste my energy and, like, stress myself out? If I start stressing myself out, it's gonna stress out the crew and the rest of the cast and our director. So I sort of just pay attention to what I can control, and when it comes to being tired, a lot of coffee. I mean, there's not really much else you can do. Power naps, and just taking care of my body and my mind to make sure that if we are shooting, at 4 in the morning, I can still do my job well. So, yeah.
Diciamo che è diventato molto zen. Il Covid ha dato a tutti il tempo di focalizzarsi su se stessi, quindi di fare un passo indietro, e ora cerca di non stressarsi più per le cose su cui non ha il controllo, quindi le cose che non può controllare. Per il resto un po' di caffè se è stanco, qualche pisolino, e l'importante comunque è prendersi cura di corpo e mente. Okay, last question.
Pressure.
If you could play any character of 911, who would it be and why?
OG one.
Good question, man. I mean, it's kind of not fair, but probably Athena. She's so badass. I mean, she's so badass. And, yeah, probably Athena. but you know, it's because of who's playing her. So yeah, I'm very biased towards her. She's so cool. So yeah.
Quale personaggio di 911 mi piacerebbe interpretare? È un po' di parte, però direbbe Atina, è una forza, cioè, poi forse per chi la interpreta, però sì, direbbe Atina.